Hey everybody, welcome to Chatbox Reviews. I'm Stan with my lovely wife Tanya here again, and we're doing a review to the 2021 version of Mortal Kombat. And yeah, we just got out from it. I'm pretty stoked about
Pretty pumped.
I was so glad we went and saw it on VMAX.
Yeah, definitely.
And stuff at
Worth
Event
it.
Cinemas. It was very cool. But the awesome part about this was we had both the director and the star of Josh Lawson and
Josh Lawson.
Simon McQuaid come out and personally take Q&As from everyone in the audience and stuff. So it was very, very cool. IGN came through for us really big time with Event Cinemas collabing with Warner Brothers and everything. So
good.
This was very, very cool. And
they were so generous with their time as well.
yeah, they weren't
They were still
kinda...
there when we left, and we were there after the movie for about an hour.
Yeah, still taking questions, still chatting with everyone, still mingling,
taking
just
photos,
very,
everything.
very engaging. And that's when you know you got a good kind of director and star of and people working on the project, because they're more than willing to be hey, let's talk about this, let's see what it's all about.
See what the people actually think.
But here's a quick shot of the question that I got to ask, because they were passing around mics and I was lucky enough to ask.
You got to ask a really cool question.
There seems to be this ongoing stigma of silly video game movie now that making it's a little bit popular, but will it translate to screen? And the previous films that came out in '95, I think, and so on, they didn't really seem to do the characters and story as good a justice. What did you guys do to sort of bring that to life in this one to make it different to the cookie cutter clean versions that came before it? Thanks.
Everything you're about to see is what we did. So I guess there was what I was trying to do. Let me answer that by sort of explaining what I was trying to do in when I signed on for this and really understood it and got immersed into the world of Mortal Kombat, was to give it to mix the brutal quality that's inside this with an authenticity and a believability to these really fantastic characters. I mean, they are utterly unreal, but my goal was to make them feel real. So there's many things that all add up to make it. All comes from the characters. So everything that we did and all the decisions that were made were to try and make you feel immersed in a very real but very beautiful and cinematic world. So it was really about taking what had been done and elevating it as much as we could to a big cinematic experience. And that also means all of the things we did, the costumes, the makeup, the music. Ben Wallfish has done an amazing job with the music. He did a forensic study on the original song, which in itself is fairly simple, but he just pulled that apart and took all the DNA out of that. And you'll hear it being folded all the way through the soundtrack, and it's an amazing soundtrack. He's an incredibly talented guy. So it was really just taking what was the DNA of Mortal Kombat and just elevating it and doing our best to do that. So it was nice enough for him to give that description of shot for shot, more or less saying respect the
source material.
Yeah, the source material really is what matters. I think it's really cool that they didn't just turn around and say, we'll just put our own spin on it. It's no,
they deep dived, which was great.
Yeah.
They talk about the music director in that question, just talking about how he dissected the music, which is so good. I love that.
And the blend of it, that's something for me, the costumes, the set pieces, where they the fights, everything, those were characters in the movie.
Yeah.
The music was a character in the movie.
And the fact that they all filmed it in South Australia as well.
Yeah, in our
blew my
backyard,
mind.
more or less. It was kind of crazy because I was like, this is Australia?
Yeah.
This is so cool. I can't believe we've got these different places and locations and stuff. But
they did amazing.
Yeah, they did a great job with giving us just that very, I wouldn't say alien feel, but a little bit of a dimension.
Outerworldly.
Yeah, just all of that kind of stuff. And phone's still going off because we've got posts up. Check out our Instagram as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, all in all, I was pretty happy with what characters we got, because we know Mortal Kombat's universe has grown so far to the point where it's like, what, they've got like 100 characters or something now.
Yeah, they just keep adding more, which is awesome.
And yeah, with this whole film, everything was very kind of, there's no bit in the movie where I'm just sitting back going, oh, is this gonna pick up sometime soon? It is like pretty action
Straight off
packed.
the bat.
And storyline wise,
Story's great.
it does kind of hit you in the heart a little bit, but then there's some bits where you're like genuinely, oh my god, is he going to be all right? Like, and then there's like different
There's
parts,
so many amazing parts that take you back to the game.
but also with the fights, choreography and everything. I was really impressed with that because it's a lot of stuff we hadn't seen in live action, which was really done justice. But if you've seen the trailer, like, that's not all the really cool stuff. There is some pretty
So much.
badass stuff. And then, like, also too, like, to blend different characters in there and stuff, like, there is different twists in there that I don't want to get into because it's better to see it.
Yeah, we don't want to spoil it for you.
But like, I'll give one spoiler away and this isn't really a spoiler. All right, so it's more or less when a character's out and you're just like, wow, that was quick. I don't know if they're going to come back. And later on in the film, you see whether or not they do or do not. But you'll just have to see it. But like, what would you give this?
I would definitely give this an 8.59. Because not only does it have good story and amazing action, it has great humor, which I really enjoyed as well. Like, they throw in jokes that kind of take you back to
Some
the
dark
game.
humor, yeah.
There's dark humor, but there's also stuff that, you know, when you're frustrated with the game, like you're versing someone, it's like, oh, is that the only move you can do? It's just like, oh yeah, that.
I'm not saying Josh, like Kano, in my opinion, steals the show.
He was awesome.
But
So
also
funny.
too, it's just one of those things. I'm not saying that because he's an Aussie and he's really cool and everything, but I really genuinely feel like there was a little bit of that, like, Deadpool humor in there.
He got swagger.
Yeah, as well
Yeah.
as like just these different elements that really work. Where I could have gone off and just watched his character the whole time, like a prequel to what he was up to. And, you know, if you know your Mortal Kombat characters, Sonya and Jax, I would have liked to seen a prequel to them. Would have liked to have seen what was going on with Kung Lao and Liu Kang. And just, it was just one of those things where I'm just like, wow, this really kind of makes me want to play the game. But also,
yeah.
it's got rewatchability. Like, you can miss so many different things and go back and watch it and probably go, wow, I didn't notice that. Like, that was really cool. But yeah, the effects looked beautiful. The
Yes.
set pieces were amazing. The characters were there,
Yeah.
which was really cool. And there was a little bit of like drama and stuff in there that was really kind of heartbreaking for me. But
Yeah. The way that they blend all the story, it flows really well from start to finish. Like, it's just a really good story, and in my opinion anyway.
And because he was asked the question after mine to the director, Simon was like, oh, is there room for a sequel and stuff? And he's like, well, more or less, he's like, you just have to wait and see.
Well, he
And-
said that they hadn't made plans for a sequel, but there's
Yeah.
definitely stuff in there that they could use if
There's
one
little
got the
bits
green
and
light.
pieces in there
Yeah.
where you're just like,
Could we?
yeah.
It
Could they-
definitely does give you the impression that there will be a sequel. So fingers crossed there will be, because I would
Yeah.
love to see my girl Katana on screen with a fan, just whooping tush.
And there was like different characters that didn't show up that you're kind of like, wow, they can go in different directions if they do a sequel. So fingers crossed this does sell a lot of popcorn. This does be a box office hit as well as a, you know, streaming hit as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'd say go see it in IMAX, go see it in
You
the
want to
mega
see
screen.
the blood splatter on high definition, that's for sure.
And also, I don't know, it kind of makes you want to take up, like, you know, martial
kung
arts and
fu,
stuff.
yeah.
Like, but yeah,
MMA.
anyway,
I'm definitely going to play the game.
Yeah, we do recommend go see this in the cinema. It's definitely worth, ticket price and everything. And if you do get a chance, shout out to Josh and Simon, director, and Kano Star, give them a thumbs up and everything. But thanks for watching.
No worries.
Let us know in the comments below if you need any questions and stuff.
Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.